Okay, that should have worked. Did that work? I see. Okay. Wow. Scary, dumb idiot. Hi, everybody. I was kind of just waiting for everyone to get here, but then I messed it all up. Olive's eating a treasure troll, so I feel like I should do something about that. Okay. Had to do that. Honey, do you have your treasure troll? I should really get that from you. Also, you stepped on my poster. Hi, everybody. I thought it would be great if we all came together. A lot of us are in our homes across the world, and you know, it's kind of a confusing time. I do not think I'm like a leader or anything like that, and I thought, you know, we would kind of all talk because a lot of people are going through similar experiences right now, and I think there is a comfort in, you know, all of this happening together at the same time. There are some, you know, regulations on YouTube right now about saying certain things, and by no means do I want to spread false information at all, so I would absolutely never do that. So yes, this will be uploaded afterwards, I believe, unless it gets pulled down, which is what I am leading to say, is this may be demonetized because of some of the content I'm going to talk about, but I'm only, you know, I'm not going to say anything harmful, you know. I'm just going to talk about, you know, my life, what's going on in Philadelphia. These are confusing times, and, you know, we're all doing the right thing, so we kind of just have to wait and things like that. Okay. People are saying that it stopped. No. Says the stream health is good. It works? All good now. Okay. It works. Okay, cool. It's good? Okay. Okay, it says stream health good, so hopefully it's good. Okay, people are saying that they refreshed. Cool, cool. I set it to low latency, so I'm sorry about that. That is, you know, to work with the internet that I have. I think also a lot of people are online right now, so I was a little worried about going live. At my old apartment, when everyone would get home from work, my internet would lag really badly. And when I spoke to my internet provider about it, they were like, yeah, that seems to be why. And I was like, wait, no, that's the problem. Ooh. YouTube is bleeping you. Probably. So the live stream is just starting. You guys are getting in. But I did want to say, I thought about this earlier. If you are a small business or a freelancer, anything like that, do feel free to shout yourself out. I know shout outs can, you know, get taken down and stuff like that, and they can, you know, make a chat experience kind of drag. But, you know, I wanted to open things up if you wanted to shout yourself out in the comments respectively. This is a tough time for people, so I thought about mentioning that earlier. And also Super Chat. Super Chat is a feature where you can donate to the live stream and your comment will be pinned at the top. So by all means, if it's appropriate. And Olive is in here today. So I don't think you can tell, but there is a scratch on my face from my neighbor's dog, and he got in our backyard, and at the same time Olive got out. So Olive is actually pretty upset. I rarely see Olive hiss, and he's such a funny cat that when he hisses, his like tongue gets stuck. He's like, sss. And I'm like, what's that little tongue? I can't even. But he did like scratch me a little bit, and I have a scratch from the dog. So Olive is in here clearly getting into trouble, just kind of just cooling off, because when he hisses and like grows very large, it upsets the other cats, so I just have them in here for now. Honey, are you crazy? He's feeling a lot better. He like crawled into the cat tree and like wouldn't get out, and I had to put on gloves to like kind of get him out and then seclude him in this back room. I don't know what I'm doing, but that seems to have worked because he's being a lot more animated now. I did just film a whole video, so he has been back here for like 2 hours under the couch. He loves this back room because there's so many places to like hide. So he is, you know, this is the first time he's like got out from under the couch and explored in the last couple hours. So I'm glad that he's out and he's being really funny. But if he becomes a little bit of a pain and might have to leave, because I normally don't let the cats back here because I have plants, we might see him leave, but I hope he just like gets tuckered out. How much did your Akira flash cost? I think that was a gift. I'm not sure. Remember to wash your hands, buds. Love you, Quicken. Thank you, Courtney. Yes, I have been enforcing hand washing. In this whole situation, I have at no point been too cool. My friend Callan came over yesterday, and I was like, hey, let's wash our hands. Like, I in all of this, I do not feel too cool, and I do not feel like any of the precautions we're taking are, like, lame or too much, or... You want some water, honey? Oh, I got a case of White Claw, and the guy gave me this cup, and it's like, Foster's Australian for bear, but that was a southern accent. But it's the biggest cup in my house, so I've been using it to drink out of. He gave me the cup and I was like, no, I didn't get Foster's, but I do want a big cup. Hi, honey. What happened to you? He's okay. Come here. He's okay. He's okay. Right? There was something in your eye earlier too. Did it work out? He's so funny. When he's sad, I'm like, I almost didn't do the live stream. I was like, my cat is upset. I can't do it. Hi, honey. Do you want to take a rest there? Why don't you take a rest right there? Is he resting? Go ahead and rest, honey. Get your rest. John's coming. When I film in here, I take up the whole space, so I'll always have like a bunch of stuff in front of the door, and I feel like when John comes home, he opens the door and it all falls, but it happens every time, so he's like, but it sounds like he's doing whatever. That was from Dirty Soy, and let me see it. My friends have the sickest shop called K-E-I, Kai Collective. Lots of cute stuff from lots of artists. Check out her website, IG. She's struggling right now. K-E-I. Let me go off the Wi-Fi here. Kai Collective. See. So it looks like this, and it says fashion for all. Wait. I love that. Okay, so don't forget to check them out. Get some sick frog pins. Oh, he's eating the plant. Honey, no! Honey! We can't eat that, we'll die. He didn't like that, huh? You ready to go explore the house? You ready to be with Ethan? Yeah. Go ahead, honey. You can knock on the door if you want to come back, okay? Ethan was at the door and they didn't fight. Oh, see, sometimes he just needs a little me time. A little bit of me time. Okay, sorry, I missed some of that. I'm so sorry. Like, if Olive wouldn't have gotten that spat earlier. Okay. The most wholesome stream in just minutes. Okay, if you're just joining us, we are talking about it. There is this song from Old Crow Medicine Show where they're like, we're all in this thing together, which has been stuck in my head nonstop. Because that is what's going on here. We're all in this together. I thought it would be cool to come on here. One, we're all at home. I'm repeating myself for the people who just joined. We're all at home and things are kind of in the air here. One thing I have been saying a lot is you're getting these emails and stuff from like businesses and you keep hearing this is a developing situation. So there's a lot of uncertainty in that, and this is a developing situation is already just like confusing enough. So welcome if you just joined. So we're all in this thing together. I thought I would kind of talk a little bit and hear from you guys. And like I had mentioned at the beginning of the stream, if you're a small creator, small business owner, freelancer, go ahead and, shout yourself out in the comments. And I'm not going to, sometimes shout outs in streams, there will be rules where it's like, don't shout yourself out. If you have something to promo, I feel like this could be a cool place to do it respectively. And as well, you can use the super chat feature and that will pin your comment at the top of the live stream with a little bit of donation. I have been looking into, people who, in Philadelphia, I'll start that off. Yesterday, all non-essential businesses have closed. Walking around my neighborhood earlier, that seems to not be enforced. But when I was downtown yesterday, I was somewhere where they asked us to leave by 5. I was down at the mall downtown. I have decided to self-isolate 100%, but we were capturing some footage, so I would be set to self-isolate for some videos that I can work on in the meantime. And I, told everyone yesterday, like, tomorrow's my last day out. Now I'm just like taking walks by myself in my neighborhood so I don't go crazy. I was working on a video last week for the whole week, and then I was like, yeah, this weekend I'm gonna stretch my bones and get out of my house and breathe the air. And then it was like, no. So I've been trying to take little walks here and there, but my friend Callan is going back to his state, so him and I hung out yesterday too. What did I preface that with? So I've been looking up to see what unemployment benefits are being allowed to Philadelphians and stuff like that, and it seems like if you work at a business with over 9 employees, you will have paid sick leave. But if you're a small business with like 2 or 3 employees, it gets a little confusing. If you are a freelancer, you're not entitled to anything. So I'm a little worried if like the internet goes out or something like that, that's kind of my lifeline, but we're not there yet. But I do appreciate, you guys being here and supporting me, which has been really great. I wanted to tell you guys I will be increasing my upload schedule to accommodate, new eyes who might be at home. I feel like as an entertainer, this is something that I can give back, and I'm happy to do it. I have a bunch of videos in the works already. I love creating, so being able to be like, hey, like, if I can pump out videos and I can make these little videos that I've always wanted to make, like a shoe collection video, like this is the perfect time, because I'm like, oh, no one wants a shoe collection video as my only upload, but now it's like, yeah, let's do it. But so far that's it. So I want to talk a little bit about Animal Crossing because I haven't found the answer to this so far, but I have been looking and I have contacted GameStop support and they haven't gotten back to me. Maybe they are non-essential. So yesterday I went to GameStop where I talked to the staff about Animal Crossing, which comes out March 20th, which is this Friday. When I went yesterday, Philadelphia had not mandated any closures or anything like that. But so I went yesterday to a GameStop inside of a mall. I talked to them, and the background is I went with GameStop because they have a poster that they're going to give you, a limited edition poster, if you buy your copy of Animal Crossing with them. Don't get too hung up on that, though, because, like, I know it's a little first world that I'm like, I might not get my poster. Like, that's not it. It's easy for me to get to GameStop. Public transportation goes right there. It's the center of the city, so I decided to go with GameStop and not Walmart or anything like that. But I do want to buy it in real life. So I went to the GameStop to talk to the employees, and they said that their, like, tech is considered an essential store, so they are staying open during the closures. Most non-essential stuff is, like, restaurants, bars, coffee shops, but corner stores and grocery stores are essential, so they're staying open. My best friend works at Wawa, and they are staying open. And apparently GameStop is staying open. Everybody was, like, pretty disheveled because they had just found out the news that they were considered an essential, I guess, store or company, so they would be kept open. The cashier told me, like, she has kids and she would rather the store close. But then she was also pretty animated about, like, the game she wants to come out is coming out this week as well. So she seemed to be understanding, because I felt like a big idiot being like, can I still get Animal Crossing? So I was like, hey, I'm just here to ask questions. Like, I don't want to make anybody's life hard. Like, I just want to be informed, and I'd rather talk to people, you know. They said that they were going to stay open, so I, placed my pre-order. And then last night at 5 o'clock when we were asked to leave, we found out that the mall would be closing. So there's no way to access the GameStop because it's inside of the mall. So that's tough. So I called GameStop customer support, and they said that the game will be there waiting for me when the mall reopens. And I was like, okay, this is a developing situation. Yeah, so if you place your order with GameStop, if it's somewhere you can't get to, sorry. But, there is another GameStop kind of nearby. I'm thinking I could walk there on Friday, and it could be like a nice exercise, and I could see what's going on in my community and take like a nice long quarantined walk. I'm still thinking about that, but obviously the most responsible thing is to digital download. And I've seen some talk in the comment section on GameStop's Instagram that you can, once your store opens up again, you can just return your copy of Animal Crossing for a full refund. And, you will have to buy the game again to get the digital download, but then you can return it when you're done and have $60 waiting for you at GameStop once this all blows over. If you find a store outside of the mall, can you take your receipt and transfer the pre-order? That's what I would try to do. This is a developing situation. I just don't know what Philly's going to be like by Friday because things are happening every single day. And if they decide to close GameStop, more power to them. I'm very surprised that GameStop is considered essential. I guess, they sell like flash drives maybe. It's called telecommunication. So they fall under the like telecommunication umbrella, which makes them essential. Which I'm just like really surprised about. I like when I asked them why, you know, they were pretty disheveled. They were like, people gotta play their games. And I was like, I guess so. Like, sure. I guess I'm one of them. All of this for Animal Crossing, I know, but just, you know, I know it's a very first world to go through all of this to make sure my game is released. But also at the same time, I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this, so I thought I would hit the ground running on whatever information I could collect, and that's what I tried. I know GameStop, you know, a couple weeks ago, before I could have even imagined any of this happening, GameStop offered same-day delivery, so you could get it delivered to your house the day it came out, but it wouldn't have come with the poster, and because of, you know, before any of this happened, I was like, well, I would like the poster. And now I'm like, for a poster, ma'am. But also, I mean, post office has been deemed essential, and my P.O. box actually contacted me and said I can keep having packages sent to the P.O. box during this time unless things escalate. I don't know if there's going to be any continued variances in what is deemed essential. Like, I don't know if they are going to narrow down what they consider essential and there'll be another wave. I use this as my, like, lumbar support until I get a gamer chair. That's not on my agenda at all. So yeah, I don't know if things will continue to be crossed off as non-essential. Like, I'm not sure. I could get my copy of Animal Crossing at Target, which is staying open. Big box stores in Philadelphia are considered essential, so they're staying open. So Target and Walmart, I can't think of anything else that I would consider a big box store that has essential items. Like, I think TJ Maxx is a big box store, but I also don't think TJ Maxx is staying open. If anyone can sound off, I do not know. But yes, I just bought Animal Crossing digital. The most responsible thing to do is to buy the digital copy. I like physical games because I like trade them with my friends. But you actually like can't really trade Animal Crossing with your friends because the game never stops. But I am prepared to buy the digital copy. Earlier someone asked about my grandparents, and I do want to touch on it because you guys have probably seen me on social talking about it. I posted some stories to my Instagram about buying them food and stuff, and then I deleted those because I felt like I was a bit in a panic, and it was irresponsible for me to be posting at a time like that. And John describes it as an impulse. He said, like, I know you don't have OCD, but it's almost like when you get into a panic, I see you pick up your phone. Like, one thing leads to a reaction that I, like, can't really control. And, you know, just conversationally, he compared it to that. And with that, I just kind of deleted some of the Instagram stories I had been posting while we were trying to buy groceries for my grandparents. But now that it's been a few days, you know, I'm not in a panic anymore. And, you know, I just tried to curb that behavior when it flares up. Because, you know, at a time like this, I don't want to be panic posting. But yeah, we went to the grocery store to stock up my grandparents' house so they have no excuse to leave. They live in a trailer park and not in Philadelphia proper, so I think that they will have an easy enough time social distancing. But they do, like, hang with some other seniors, so I do worry about that. Because seniors are pretty susceptible to this and vulnerable. And even talking to my grandmom, yeah, I saw some people who were like, I wish my parents would take this more seriously. My grandmom did say, oh yeah, I talked to my friend the other day and she did go to the hospital to visit her other friend, and there was a sign in the ward that said, don't come by, but no one enforced the sign, so she just walked through. And I was like, do not let Maribel in this effing house. That's not her name, but I don't know. We stocked up their house the next day. I called to see if they were okay, and they were like, yeah, we're fine. We had coupons for Burger King, so we went there, and I was like, stop it. But also, I don't know. Candidly, my grandfather is now on a breathing tank, and, meeting the end of his life. So it's just like absolutely so tough. It's so tough. And when I asked him if he was scared, he said no. For me, it's like, well, do you live the rest of your life like in your house, like making sure your neighbors don't come in? I don't know what's right, and I'm like learning it right now. John's parents are also seniors, so we're experiencing this on both ends, so it's just pretty tough. And I just don't think it's being taken super seriously right now as a whole, not in relationship to our parents, but it's not at 100%. So I think that they could run into somebody, and I want to social distance in case they need me so I can come home, because young people can be carriers. But it's really tough. I hope that everything works out, and that as super vulnerable people, they get along fine. I have a hard time talking about it and like dealing with it and thinking not responsibly, but not critically, but thinking about it, the weight of it, the reality of it. And I think about like tracking corona into their house and me being the one who kills them, so I don't want to think like that. But when I'm not thinking about that, we did stock them up, and we went to Wegmans. And one thing I can applaud Wegmans, which is a grocery store, is they had set strict limits. BuzzFeed posted this thing that was like 25 pictures of people not understanding the coronavirus. And it was just like people with carts full of milk, like literally. And the captions are like, milk expires. Wegmans, though, has that completely under control. You literally can't panic buy there. You can only buy 2 items. So it was tough because I said that I was shopping on behalf of my grandparents, who I did not want shopping for themselves, but I was still only allowed to buy quantities for just me. So that was tough, but they're also like prepared. Like I've stocked them up well, their cats are stocked, all of that is taken care of, so it's not something I can worry about. It's just, we just all wait. So Julia Lynn Vlog says, hello, and I understand completely, same here. Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's like, just give me the Animal Crossing island, because I'm losing my mind. Sending support, thank you for thinking of others and doing what you can. It's tough, and my neighbor is a senior, so at all ends, I'm like, can I get anything for you? Alright, Dirty Soy, I will see you later. Here in Canada, places are opening an hour early so seniors can go when it's empty. I saw that, and that's pretty chill. I definitely don't want my grandparents leaving at all. But that is chill for people who aren't like super old or super like on a breathing tank. People who don't have emphysema. I think my pop should stay home, but I was excited for that. But that's me. Some local restaurants have switched to takeout only. I think restaurants that weren't equipped to handle a lot of takeout, probably there will be a delay in response in what they are able to do. Two restaurants I really like in town, Tattooed Moms, which I just did that cheesesteak tour video with. They were staying open, and then yesterday when it was mandated that they closed, but they're not like really equipped to do takeout. You can order takeout there, but I think it doesn't happen as frequently as like a place that hosts takeout, like a pizza place, where it's 50-50 dine-in, takeout, probably less dine-in. So Tattoo Moms is closed, but they said they're going to work to offer takeout. And then Saturday, I think before the state of emergency was declared, I believe that was declared on Sunday. Saturday we did go to Soy Cafe, which is a restaurant in Philadelphia. When my Humane League video ever comes out, that's where they interview me. So they're pretty special in my heart. We went there because they were open and like support small business. So we walked in, the whole place smelled like bleach, and she wiped off a menu and then gave it to us. And then when she took it back, she wiped it off and wiped off the table. And they had the door propped open so you wouldn't have to touch it. There was stuff like that in place, but I did feel tough because it felt like I was breaking the rules of like self-isolating. So I did feel like guilty. However, do you support local businesses who have less than 9 employees so they can't have mandated sick leave? Or do you stay home and flatten the curve? Although these businesses are being allowed to stay open, so you wonder, is there people supporting the business? Like, I understand like Grubhub and stuff, but that's never, like, we're not pretty big, we don't really order delivery. We tend to like pick up if we are getting takeout, but I cook most of our meals at home. Like, neither John or I have like any delivery apps on our phone. So I don't know much about that. Onion Bub says, a lot of delivery services are switching to no touch, meaning the driver drops off supplies at the door and the customer pays in advance for the card, reducing contact as much as possible, kind of thing. I did see my neighbor a couple doors down utilize this. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I know she lives alone, so I was gonna like reach out and be like, hey, but we'll see. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm in a place right now where I did that couponing video back in November, so I actually like just incidentally have a decent stockpile left over from all of that. And then I bought like a lot of ingredients. I mentioned earlier my friend Callan went back to be with his parents. He said Amtrak was very, very cheap, and him and I got coffee and kind of wondered together if he didn't leave, if he would be able to at a later point. And I'm the oldest sibling, so I'm kind of like organizing and trying to stay on top of everything, like within my bounds of responsibility as the eldest. And he's the oldest too, and I kind of said, like, if you are having a gut feeling that you should be home, like, get on the cheap Amtrak and go. So he actually gave me all of his groceries yesterday as well, so they wouldn't go bad, because he got produce and stuff. So I cooked him like a nice big dinner using a lot of the ingredients that he gifted us, and it was nice, and he left this morning. But it's an interesting camaraderie, all of us, when I made us dinner, we all sat together and like kind of watched the news, because it's just two people sharing what they know and what they've picked up, and just figuring out how they feel. And he decided to leave, and I said, go with your gut. I would. I told him if I still lived in like West Philly with all my roommates, like I probably would have went like back too. But that's what's going on. So John has not been his work is staying open. He's a carpenter, and the homeowner whose home he is working on John said he talked to him today, and he said, you can keep working. So John is still employed, which is like very nice. We're pretty fortunate for that to be the case, because I know my old salon is now closed due to the non-essential mandate. So that's what's going on here. And obviously my job is protected unless something more severe happens, like internet or like electrical stuff. But I think that is a bit severe, but who knows? Just gonna have some water. And I like really don't leave the house anyway, so I'm not super worried. I did take my temperature like the last 3 days to just like make sure everything was cool, but that is what's going on here. And really I don't know. So I have a bunch of videos that I plan on making that are like, how do I say it, like just like like I was gonna make a video that was like 5 animes you can binge right now, and like that's stuff that I'm doing, and then like 5 things you can watch on Netflix right now. And the like right now is kind of the like, you don't need any precursor to this. And then my salon is open and we have a lot of older clients and multiple immune compromised stylists. It sucks knowing that they aren't as important as money. It's really tough, especially like you can consider stylists just like independent contractors, so there might not even be anything in place to protect them. I know I follow my friend in Portland, and there's a lot of stuff going on with their unemployment and benefits that they are providing to people. So far in Philly, I might be repeating myself, but if you're new to the stream, in Philly, you get paid sick leave if you work for a company that has over 9 employees. So obviously, Rite Aid has, thousands of employees, but if you work at, a deli, there might only be 5 staff, so it's tough. That's what's going on in Philly. How are you dealing with the health anxiety? I keep thinking I'm having trouble breathing, but I think it's anxiety. I've been taking my temperature and trying to stay on top of things. I'm not in super great health, as in last year I was going to the gym pretty frequently, and I mean that all fell apart, which I feel like is a good story time, but there's only like 10 gyms in Philly, so I feel like I would blacklist myself really quickly if I made that story. But I was going to the gym, and now I'm not even doing yoga, so I feel like out of shape is the way I would describe it. So I'm worried that I'm like out of shape and stuff to deal with all of this. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm fine to deal with all this, but I'm not trying to minimize anyone's experience, but just like put out the experience I'm having. But I do, it's psychosomatic. I do feel like because yesterday I was out, although we practiced social distancing and stuff like that, and we had our coffee to go and we drank it outside and we didn't touch anything, and Kellen had the last bottle of hand sanitizer in all of Greater Philadelphia. When I did come home, I thought I feel very tired and like took my temperature and stuff, but I don't is that my head? Like maybe. If you're reading this, fix your posture. I'll have to bring the mic over here. Oh, now it's in the frame. Can you still hear me? I edit with a blankie, and I must. And I have my ice cream sandwich. Wow, I was slouched. I work at Starbucks as a supervisor, and we've easily had 12 people in our lobby today, which is, of course, low for us, so I'm assuming we'll close soon. Currently, we have our lobby closed only. Are you in the States? If so, which state? I feel you. I have chronic pain. Went out yesterday. When I came home, I was like, oh my god, do I hurt more than usual? Yeah, there's kind of like, I don't leave the house very often, so I could definitely like remember like the dates and times where I was in places. Rosie and I went to the movies, and I also went to round one, and I played like a ton of touch games and then ate afterwards. But was that 14 days ago? I don't know. I know there's probably this rush to be the first YouTuber who has it, which is fun and sad also, but my store just announced that they're closing a few hours early and adding a senior hour. I love that. New Jersey, which is very close to Philadelphia, it's where I grocery shop, so going to New Jersey from Philly is super, super easy. It's like 10 minutes away. They have a curfew, I think between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. where you can't go out unless you like work overnights or something like that, but I assume the police could pull you over and ask what you're doing. Sorry to touch my eye. So when I used to live in Texas, we had a hurricane and there was a curfew, and we did get pulled over because we hadn't left the house in like a week, and my cousin and I were like, let's just get in the car so we can listen to the radio. And we got pulled over and sent home. So I think the curfew, like, that's how it's enforced. If you're driving, they would pull you over. My friend, and she was the model for my graduation project, she works at a mall in New Jersey, and she said the malls are staying open. So it's definitely interesting that states are kind of mandating what is going on and the protections within the state, especially because New Jersey is so close to Philly, and I'm not sure if they are self-isolating or social distancing, but their GameStops are still open. But definitely interesting. Philadelphia does not have this curfew though. Yeah, I went on a walk earlier. 2 days ago, I saw a lad, probably my age, with his what are the headphones that always sponsor YouTubers? Raycons. I saw my dude walking around with his Raycons, I assume listening to a podcast, and I actually think that that's kind of charming if he got the Raycons because he listens to YouTuber and he wanted to support. I was like, my dude. Like, I know Rosie listens to like Chris D'Elia's podcast, and she's like a Quip toothbrush, and I was like, my man. So I saw this lad walking around, and I could tell he was social distancing. You can kind of just like see it. It's just someone walking around by themselves doing a thing. Because my neighborhood isn't one for a stroll, but I was like, all right, this dude was clearly in the house all day. And that's what I did today. I have a little disposable camera that I've been trying to keep with me. Callan and I tried to take some interesting pictures yesterday without like upsetting anyone. We got a picture of, there is like one GUN range in Philadelphia, and there was quite a long line outside of it, a bit dystopian. So we did capture that photo at a safe distance, but other than that, we took pictures of like, we were at the Italian market. One of my favorite episodes of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Charlie's Never Had a Pair takes place in the Italian market, to give you some perspective. So we were there kind of taking pictures and seeing what was still open, and it was everything. And that was our experience yesterday. But for the most part, people were out in the streets, and like tough guys would stand right up against you if you were at the crosswalk waiting for it to turn green. And then you kind of saw some hesitant people like kind of waiting back a little bit but still wanted to be tough. kind of thing. And I was like, well, we all know about it. Why not just like adhere by it, the suggestions that were made to us? I went to Ulta yesterday because the Sailor Moon collaboration in store came out the day previous. And I was like, oh man, it won't be sold out. We had to go to the mall anyway for the thing we were shooting. So I was like, well, in Rome. And yeah, the entire Sailor Moon collection was sold out too. She's like, no, people turned out for it. I was like, well, they're not very self-isolating, are they? AKA me, though. I had a nice little walk today, too. Canada government is strongly recommending people to not hang out with friends, so it's just me and my partner for the next 2 weeks at least. That's basically me. Yeah, earlier I walked around and I have my little disposable camera, so I kind of just routed my neighborhood. Saw a fair amount of people out. I would say maybe less, but probably a normal amount of people for 11 a.m. on a Tuesday. So I'm not sure. Definitely not a barren ghost town, however. And this morning I noticed that there was parking on my block. So that either means people went to work, or maybe like Callan, they went home to be with their parents. A lot of people in my area like aren't native to Philadelphia, so around Christmas there's a lot of parking. However, I noticed, a lot of cars were gone, so either people still going to work or people driving around, or people who may have left. Sunday, though, during the state of emergency, no parking. We actually parked on the sidewalk. Being alone by choice is easy, but when it's not a choice, it's hard. I am feeling that heavy. It's suddenly, like, when I would realize that I haven't left the house for 3 days because I've been filming and editing, like, I feel guilty and almost like there's a film of, like, kind of filth on me a little bit. Like, oh, you haven't been out, or you haven't seen your friends. Now that I shouldn't leave the house, I'm like, should I go on a little walk? If you're just joining us, welcome. We are all here just, telling it like it is, just talking about what's going on in our communities, in our lives, in our work lives, and I'm encouraging anyone who is a creator or a small business, or your friend is a creator, or you have an Etsy or something like that, to definitely shout yourself out in the comments. We will not be deleting any shout outs. I know in some streams shout outs are forbidden, but today, if you want to shout out your little shop, by all means. And if you want to support the live stream and support the channel, you can leave a super chat comment, which will pin your comment to the top of the chat board for a donation. Literally same. I work from home and never wanted to go outside, but now I'm like, what's the sun look like? That's definitely me. Today I was like, well, it's very important for me to stretch my bones once an hour, and I've like never ever followed that rule at all. I like hunch over this table all day, and there's like a plate from like eating toast up here. And I would love to clean this room. I'm kind of like, oh man, I'm quarantined. I guess I should deep clean my rugs. And I'm like, wait, I already work from home, so I'm just doing all my normal stuff, and why would I? There's no time. I need to know, the office are always sunny. That is tough, because I think I haven't watched any recent Always Sunny, but the first few seasons of Always Sunny are so good. And I've heard that Always Sunny keeps it going and it stays good. But I don't know where it went. And the last season of The Office is pee pee poo poo. So I have a hard time. They both make me feel something different, so I wouldn't fairly compare them in my life, but I don't know. I haven't watched The Office in a while though. When I was fixing up this room, I decided to rewatch The Office because they were taking it off Netflix. And I think I got to like the 3rd season, but I was kind of just watching it in the background and was still laughing at the jokes, no matter how much I resisted it or felt like it was played out, or I'm like very surprised Billie Eilish likes it so much because like, was she like, is it not just older millennials? I was like, how do younger people enjoy The Office? I'm just very surprised. But yeah, I don't know. So Sammy says, thanks for always giving us fun content. Quick and stay safe. Thank you so much. As long as we stay in the house and don't bite the apple, we'll be okay. I love the awkwardness of both of them. They are awkward in different ways. I agree. I'm so glad that they are like original content. Like that's what's very pleasing to me. And I heard Philip DeFranco say that Always Sunny has done a great job of like producing comedy without it being offensive, or it's like a playful offensive that doesn't hurt like a culture or like a sexuality. It's not like it's not something that we can't laugh at. It's something like, I heard Philip DeFranco made that comparison. I haven't seen any of the newer seasons, so I don't know if there's like inappropriate jokes, but he said that it's a comedy that doesn't depend on that kind of satire in order to create good content. So I think that that is something that should be respected. I know a lot of bands who have up-and-coming shows canceled and are live streaming mini isolation concerts, acoustic sets for the day of their show that was canceled. It's kind of a cool way people are banding together during this thing, in my opinion. I think that that's really cool too. I saw Youngblood, he's a musician. I saw that he had a concert that was canceled, so he put it on live stream, like Instagram Live or something. I did not catch the concert, but I did see the sentiment, and I thought that it was very charming and cool. So Stephanie P. Poit says, my Etsy is Stay Nice Co. Everyone stay safe. Love you. Thank you so much. I was on Etsy yesterday looking for Lucky. He is one of the Animal Crossing villagers who is a mummy. I was looking for Lucky stuff, and there was representation. You go to Etsy and you find the thing you're looking for. What about Parks and Rec? Curious if you've seen it too. Yes, I was into Parks and Rec. I really like Parks and Rec. I find myself like, the jokes were really well written and timeless. I think like a very good produced show. Good produced. I think at the beginning I was like, this copies The Office, and now I'm like, I think it was very original, and I take back what I said. However, my favorite show out of all of them is 30 Rock. 30 Rock is such a good show. I don't think it's like on any streaming platform. Luckily, I have it on my external hard drive from college, so I have it all on there. Still very, very good. There are things from 30 Rock that I quote to an audience of no one, so no one knows what I'm talking about, and I still follow through with the inside joke like everyone is aware. I think when you quote The Office, you know, you're like scanning the room and you're like, beer me the remote, and you're like hoping someone's like, yeah. But when you quote 30 Rock, you're like, oh, lesbian sour fruit, and they're like, what? Rural Juror. I die. It's such a good show. The only thing keeping me happy is the fact that Animal Crossing comes out Friday. If shipping is delayed, I'm going to scream. I heard that shipping may be delayed, but I've heard that from other creators who are shipping things themselves. In Philadelphia, our post office and anyone who deals with mail, UPS, FedEx, they are all mandated to stay open. But I don't exactly know how the supply chain works with all of that. So in my vast amount of knowledge, I would say that it would be delayed, or at least suggested that it would be expected to be delayed, but I don't know. Third Planet from the Sun used to come on before The Simpsons, but I never watched it. A lot of places aren't doing ship to deliver on release date for the game, so it'll take like a few days if you're getting it shipped for your house. I canceled my Target pre-order and did a digital pre-order. Yeah, at the beginning of the stream, and I will post this stream to stay on my channel when it's done, so I don't repeat myself too much for the people who have been here since the beginning, but yes, I placed my order with GameStop, and the GameStop I placed it with is inside of a mall, and the mall has closed. However, GameStop has been mandated to stay open in Philadelphia, so I don't know. The responsible thing for me to do is to just buy the digital download on Friday. I saw someone in the comments on GameStop's Instagram say that, you know, when your town is back to whatever, you can just return your copy of Animal Crossing for a refund when you're done. I'm not sure what to do. People gotta have their games. I told John I might like ask my neighbor to drive me to a GameStop so I can like, I don't know. But I also may walk there because it might be a nice brisk walk if things get a little crazier. I was up until like past midnight just scrolling like through the news app on my phone. And I would like to not do that. So I don't know. It might be nice to walk somewhere for 2 hours. I know you mentioned it a lot, but have you worked anything out with a Twitch channel or a podcast? I haven't. And I'd like to. I'd like to have a Twitch channel. That's, I don't know. That's what I would like to do. I'd really like to have one. Every day I'm like, that's a really good idea. But I want to start a Depop and I want to do this and that. I'm just like stretched too thin, but I also have a lot of downtimes. Not a lot, that's not fair. My schedule is the same as my partner's, and I would like to work longer than him. So I think once I modify my schedule to work more hours than him, I could fit more things into my schedule. It's not downtime. It's kind of like when he gets home from work, my work day ends, but my work could be infinite. But I really would like a Twitch channel. I really would. I actually do, in my private life, I actually do like a lot of gaming. I just completed all of my badges in Pokemon Shield. I think I have Shield, or I have Sword. I have Shield. I mentioned this in my monthly favorites. If you're a channel member, I make monthly favorites for my channel members every month, and this month I talked about Pokemon Shield, and I just got all my gym badges last night, and my Pokemon are all strong as hell, except my Gengar. He's like a one-hit wonder. You hit that dude, dead. Ryan Little is here. We are talking about our lives since we're inside. I've been playing Luigi's Mansion 3 nonstop, and yeah, it's as fun as you said. I love Luigi's Mansion. I traded, so I have Pokemon Shield because I traded Rosie my copy of Luigi's Mansion. But I believe when we trade back, I'm going to buy a copy of this because I really enjoy it. I spent like 3 hours training this Pokemon so I could trade a guy to get a Mr. Mime, and I don't even keep Mr. Mime on my deck. I was like, I just like him. But I do like Gengar. He does sit. Oh, so Sadie has just joined the channel memberships. That's cool. It gave me a little notification. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Welcome. You have just unlocked, I think, all my blog posts on my community tab and my channel membership videos. Enjoy them. I think they're cute. I like monthly favorites. So talking about Luigi's Mansion, it's hard enough that I feel challenged, but not hard enough to make me want to give up. Exactly. That's what I really liked about it. But in my monthly favorites, so I'm repeating myself, I did get Yoshi's Island, and it's too easy. So there's that. And emotes. I would love to update my emotes because I made them myself and they're reflective of that. Have you ever played Stardew Valley? And if you do, what do you think? If not, it might be a thing to look into based on what games you seem to like. Yeah, so I saw that Rosie has like over 120 hours on Stardew Valley, like on her Switch profile on because you can, if you are friends with people on your Switch, you can see what they play. So I was like, damn, that's a lot. It looks really cool. I think it would be pretty interesting to play, but now that I'm getting Animal Crossing this weekend, I haven't looked into it. But like I looked into the premise of Stardew Valley, which is kind of the same kind of like you have a farm and you tend to it. But I'm waiting for Animal Crossing. Can you make your own, like, let's get emotes of your kitties? I should. I have a, like, scholarship right now to, Skillshare. So I should probably just teach myself how to do it right now. One of our GameStops is closing, so my partner wanted to go and pick up a Switch. Surprised they didn't have anything because everything was on sale, but Luigi's Mansion looks so fun. Yeah, there was, I think in January, I saw this website that had a listing of all the GameStops going out of businesses and having super sales. And we drove to Quakertown, like 2 hours to go to a GameStop that was going out of business to check out the sales. But when we got there, there was a big poster in the window that was like, we sold it all. I was like, damn it. When I played Yoshi's Island on DS, I thought it was too easy, but then I found out there was like 10 million levels. Yeah. And Melissa Melody is a new member. Welcome. Thank you so much. Super happy to make channel member videos and stuff like that. It's been super fun. Everybody's super supportive. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm here doing a live stream. Yes! Welcome. We're here. We've been broadcasting for an hour now. I told myself our last live stream was like 4 hours long, and the next day I lost my voice. So I told myself we wouldn't go too long, but welcome. And this will be posted on my channel as a permanent video after this airs. But I'll drink some water. And this is just my biggest cup. This isn't like a beer. Big kisses from Italy. Thank you so much. Do you have any opinions on Timothy Chalamet? I don't know that story. That is a vase-sized cup. I wish it was plastic. I feel like this memory of being a kid with a big plastic cup that has like a lip on the side that you like bite. I want that cup. Do you still have your McDonald's cups? Yes, but I have broken at least 4 of them. Noticeably so because there's more room in my cabinet. I told myself maybe this was a good thing because I can continue to collect them. So there's that. I've been going to flea markets much less though. It's this like confliction between like wishing I was more organized and more minimalistic. And also it's the winter and there are no flea markets really in Pennsylvania during the winter. There are some, none of which are very close by. But one thing I've been doing a lot of collecting of, or at least visiting, is places that sell action figures or like import toys, so like Japanese toys. I was going to make a video of 5 places in the tri-state where I've found really good vinyl figures. We were going to go to New York for the final place. So I put the video on hold because, well, we can't really go to New York. I think I may pursue the video now that I'm increasing my filming schedule though, because I went there a couple years ago and I believe I have photos and one of the action figures still when I went there. I went there at least 10 years ago. I was still in college, but it's still there. So I think I may make the video anyway, but we went all over basically the tri-state, going to different stores, buying vinyl figures. I found a place that does Gundam figures. So this is like a kit. Actually, you can see the kit box in the background. On my Instagram story, you may have seen me unbox that and all the directions are in Japanese, so I was kind of panicked, but different places like that, finding things like that has been super fun. So instead of flea marketing, I've been like finding action figures, but that's kind of it. What figures do you collect? Mostly figures from anime that I like for the most part. I think you can kind of see some of the like claw machine figures I've been getting too. And then there's like this Resident Evil like still in the package figure that I have. Is that where that was? Oh, and then I'll collect things like I was able to get these imported amiibos of the Ice Climbers from Japan. Not that it's like really a big deal, but the packaging is in Japanese, so I'm like, that's kind of it. But how did I hurt? Oh, I have this like scratch on my face for my neighbor's dog, and my cat got out, and my neighbor's dog happened to be in my backyard, so there was a kerfuffle. What's your favorite thing about each of your cats? They all have like such unique personalities. PB, my white little girl cat, she sleeps with me every night. And she sleeps in between my partner and I, so there hasn't been like cuddling or anything for so long, but it's so unique to have this cat that wants to like be under the blanket and literally spoon you. Like I feel her little body against my back when I'm sleeping. And it's so crazy. And like you get into bed at night and you hear like to like get in, and it's every night. And then every morning I have to bring her downstairs, and I have this white blanket on the couch. I like woke up in the middle of the night like a few weeks ago and went downstairs to sleep on the couch. So I have this like guest comforter, and I left it out the next day, and PB has gotten so attached to it because I guess it looks like her. So my living room kind of looks like I sleep on the couch because I leave this comforter out for her. But she's so gentle and fun in that way. And just so unique. Like I've never had an animal like that. Ethan, though, my other cat, when I lived in my apartment, he slept in the bed with me under the covers. And then, I mean, Ethan is great. I feel like Ethan is like such a reflection of me. And our communication is really good. Jesus. Like I know what Ethan wants all the time. And completely understand him. And then my cat Olive, the orange one, who you may have seen earlier, if you caught the beginning of the stream, he's just so cute and cuddly and like absolutely so cute and small. And I've had him since he was just like a little pup, so he's very responsive to being held or being on a leash or going in a carrier, eating treats, or like learning a trick. My boy. Get in the robot, Shinji. Yeah, this robot came with like a little Shinji character, but I have to paint him, and that's very risky. But he can like launch off of this with my help. So detailed. Yeah, I think it's not perfect grade. It's like the grade below that. I miss seeing Ethan in every video. Yeah, it's because I film in this back office and he's not allowed back here because there's plants back here and he eats them. I wish he wasn't that way. Where's PB? She's downstairs. So that's what's up with my cats. So tomorrow's video is kind of on that like retail apocalypse kind of vibe. It's this video that I wanted to make for a while, but I was like, I feel like this doesn't make sense on my channel, so I'm trying to like abandon that feeling, and I'm pretty excited about tomorrow's video. It's about how I would redesign a store for success now that it has filed for bankruptcy. That's kind of like, I don't know, I hope it's enjoyable. That's tomorrow's video. What does PB stand for? So it stands for Pony Boy. I thought PB was a boy cat, and I found her outside, and she used to live in this abandoned lot. So I named her Pony Boy from The Outsiders. But turned out she was a girl, so we just started calling her PB. And now I just call her, like, whatever. My neighbor calls her Peanut Butter, and my neighbor also calls Ethan Nathan, and I do not correct her at all on anything. I treat them as like alternative personalities that the cats have, and I love it. Call her Phoebe. I started calling her BB when she's like got an attitude. Where did the name Olive come from? So John named Olive, and it's kind of, I don't want to say cringy. It makes, so John got Olive on his own, and he named Olive because he remembered Mark Cross's daughter is named Olive, and he always liked that name, and then remembered the name, and then I guess like unconsciously named him Olive. And I remember I was like, did you name Olive after Mark's daughter? And he was like, I like not consciously. And I was like, oh no, they're gonna say I'm obsessed. They're gonna come and get me. I had a cat named Mushroom. Nathan is a hilarious cat name. Yeah, I feel like the cats will all lay in the window, and sometimes I hear my neighbor outside just go, Nathan! And I'm like, oh my god. But I'm like wearing my pajamas, so I'm like hiding. I'm like, oh no, I'm not home. I thought you guys just liked olives. I've never had an olive. Is that? My cat is named Cornflakes. You guys are funny. I was about to say something. Oh, shit. Oh no, I'm flopping right now. So, last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw Tokyo Godfathers in theater, and I thought it was very, very, very good. It is a Japanese animated movie, and it's not like a Studio Ghibli movie. Let me say the creator's name because he deserves it, and I'm only blanking on it because so his name is Satoshi Kon, and Tokyo Godfathers was actually really, really, really good. I I went into Tokyo Godfathers not knowing anything other than I had binged Paranoia Agent, which is the anime he made, but he's mostly known for making movies, but he made an anime, and I'm going to be recommending it to you guys in a later video. But yeah, so he is the director who made A Perfect Blue, which is the very first thing I should have said, and Tokyo Godfathers was in theaters. I will say Perfect Blue was tough for me to watch, and at one point I did go upstairs. So I was worried about seeing Tokyo Godfathers. I didn't look any synopsis up. I went into it dead up blind, and I was so pleasantly surprised by the movie. I recommend it to everybody, and it was not like Perfect Blue at all in themes. However, the movie is done super well, and because I saw it in theaters, I was able to see a little like director's background, like behind the scenes, and the creators talked about how they would go into Tokyo and take pictures of like trash bags and like houses, like apartments with all the air conditioners like jutting out of the walls and stuff like that in alleyways, and they would on their way to work like capture these photos of like a more undesirable image of Tokyo and illustrate it. And there was a lot of complexities because they were also illustrating snow. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed the movie. I was really surprised to see like trans representation in a movie. It was just very unexpected to me. So that was like a very additional pleasure to just experiencing this movie. And I thought it was done so well. Like they weren't scared to touch it. They like dove right in, and I really appreciated that because I feel like that's more representative of what you experience in real life. So that was so interesting. I really, really loved it. So I would recommend watching that movie. I'm recommending it now because it's probably not going to go on my like 5 animes to binge right now video, but I would say I liked Tokyo Godfathers a little bit more than I liked Paprika. But I like them all for different reasons. But Paranoia Agent is his anime. I believe it's 24 episodes. Or it's like 14 episodes. But it was really, really, really good. What's the topic? I just joined the video. In theaters last week, 2 weeks ago, I saw Tokyo Godfathers. It was very, very good. And later this week, I will be making a video about anime I recommend that you can binge easily if you are at home for whatever reason you might be home. Just whatever reason. Like, it's not like you could be home for any reason. But yeah, I feel bad. I would love to talk about anime more on my channel because it is a big part of my life, but I did get some feedback that people don't want that to happen to my channel, but I'm not switching. I'm not like trading tattoos to talk about anime. I've said it a few times. It's a lot harder to talk about tattoos on YouTube now. I am making a video though. Like I wrote the script out to make a video on like how BuzzFeed approaches tattoos. 16 tattoo fails that made me gasp. Like, leave people alone. I feel so bad. It's interesting that whatever you put online is like fair game to literally every single person. And I was talking about this earlier, that BuzzFeed had a post that was like 26 images that remind you that people have no idea what to do during the coronavirus. And it was like people at Walmart taking pictures of other people at Walmart who have a shopping cart full of milk. And like you send that picture to your friend to be like, ay, this is a lady with 12 gallons of milk, and milk has a 7-day shelf life. Like, what is she gonna do? But once a news publication that has access to the White House posts like pictures that you posted on your Twitter that has 12 followers, it just is like a little odd. I understand it's fair game and it's in the like terms of Twitter, but you never like, you don't know. It's very surprising. I have a history with BuzzFeed that I like like don't feel great about. I made a video, and BuzzFeed contacted me to have the rights to the video, and they wanted the raw file, not the like edited version I had put on my YouTube channel. They emailed me and they were like, can we have all the raw footage from that video you just made for free for trade of exposure? So I declined because, one, that's like a lot of work. Two, I really didn't want to just like what would it be? Relinquish all the rights that I would have almost in like the editing process, because in this live stream you can probably tell I say a lot. It like bounces me to the next phrase or word I'm going to say. I use like in a similar way conversationally. And instead of a pause, I'll generally say like. Same with So I didn't want BuzzFeed to like have all of that and represent me in a way that isn't organic to the way I represent myself, you know? Through editing, you can really transpose a work into whatever you want. I watched this thing on like reality stars, like what it did to their life. And it was all like Australian reality TV stars, so I had no idea who they were. But every single person was like, they edited it to make me look like this. And I was like, listen, BuzzFeed. So I declined. It just didn't seem like something that was in my best interest. So BuzzFeed contacted one of my tattoo artists and asked them to ask me to reconsider, or not even reconsider. When I said no, they contacted my tattoo artist as if they had never contacted me and asked them to ask me for the raw footage so that they could make a video on the subject and grant them exposure as well. And because they run a small business, like exposure to them just means something different. And exposure to me, is a lot more, just way more is at risk because I'm putting my YouTube channel out there first and my entire personality, and they're feeding it to the like BuzzFeed commenters and subscribers who are not my audience, who can perceive me and, you know, talk about me and whatever. Like, I just felt very powerless in that. And exposure to a tattoo artist means clients, means money, means like word of mouth. It just means two different things to them. So when my tattoo artist contacted me and was like, this is so crazy, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me, BuzzFeed, can you believe this? I can't wait. I was like, fuck. And when I said no, like, our relationship's never been the same. So that's like how I feel about BuzzFeed. And that actually happened like 2 years ago. And I just like felt really just like I felt really poopy about it. There has been this big conversation about how artists don't want to be paid in exposure, and I feel kind of mixed about that. BuzzFeed is a company that can pay me, and their exposure is not very valuable, but I think that exposure in different ways would be like Emma Chamberlain. Like, I don't think she gets paid by Prada or whoever she represents, and she gives all the clothes back when she's done, but that's a much different exposure. That's like, yeah, I'll be Prada's fucking girl for $0, but I'll do it. That exposure is much different than being credited in a BuzzFeed video when they make tons of videos all the time and their content is pee-pee poo-poo, and it's really created, I think, to engage people in a negative way. I think that all of their content tries to like hit you in a nerve that annoys you or upsets you or makes you feel better than the person that the content is representing. So oh yeah, Emma is Louis Vuitton, but yeah, BuzzFeed is still a thing, and I hate the idea that they can come in and rake, RAKE, like kind of scour the internet to find bad tattoos and then put them out there and we can all laugh at them. And I know this is a common thing on YouTube, and I know Valonius and I were in a video together where we react to bad tattoos. I get that, although like in that video I'm hesitant and I don't like to make videos like that. I like working with Valonius and representing a more critical side of me. I guess I'm a hypocrite, but I just don't like the way it feels when BuzzFeed does it. I don't know. With Valonius, you know, I know he sourced some of these pictures from like an aggregator, but on BuzzFeed it's like a link to their actual Instagram. And also BuzzFeed's reach is a lot larger than Valonius's and I's, but it sounds like I'm trying to justify why I can do it and they can't, but that's not it. I just don't like how it feels. So I wanted to talk about it this week. Would you ever go to a collaboration tattoo event for Tattoo Talk Tuesday video? Sort of like a mini convention with a large tattoo shop. There's an anime tattoo convention. And I believe this year is their second year. I do want to go to that as like a reporter, as like a quickened. I think Sev and I talked about going. It takes place in the summer though, and who knows? There's a helicopter flying over my house. Who knows like what to anticipate? I have tickets to go to one anime convention later this year, and we got the hotel already. That's not for a while, but I'm even nervous about that. So I feel like I don't want to make plans. Ugh. BuzzFeed took a video of a small YouTuber making a prison burrito and posted it to Facebook. Her video only had maybe 10K views, and now it has over 1 million. And theirs has over 1 million. See, like I don't know. I didn't want to play ball, and I felt really bad because I felt like I was being purposefully resistive, and I'm sure like, you know, that was very frustrating to the tattoo artist involved. I like tried to even explain it in real life when we ran into each other, and I feel like I was being bratty, but that's what would happen on the internet. Like that's how it would go. My exposure wouldn't be in anything. Like I've been in a Watch Mojo video and like nothing happened. Like no followers, no engagement, no comments, like nothing. And I get that being on the internet, like Watch Mojo can take any content from me and use it in their discretion, and whatever. But, you know, BuzzFeed, they just asked for so much and seemed like a little entitled. The first email was like, send us the raw footage, boss babe. And I was like, ugh. Do you have any anime tattoos? I don't. There is a character from Chobits called Sumomo, and I thought about getting a tattoo of her the other day. I think the first like anime tattoo I would get would be of Sonic the Hedgehog. And I say anime loosely there. But I really want a Sonic the Hedgehog tattoo. There is a Tattoo Talk Tuesday in the works about anime tattoos. And I think, I mean, it would be so sick if I got the Sonic tattoo for the video, or at least in line with the video, but I don't think that would happen. So I think the video will be strictly remotely, but I don't have any yet. But I think the first tattoo I would get would be of a Sonic. There's this like image of Sonic, and he's like, he has all his rings, but he's also falling. I would want it to be that. How would you make an anime tattoo fit in with the rest of your traditional stuff? I think just the way some anime tattoos can have really thick, bold lines and like coloring that is bold. So I would get something like that. I just got a Kagome and Inuyasha Valentine's Day tattoo. I love it. I love Inuyasha. They are traditional style anime tattoos. They look good. Yeah, that's what I would get it to look something like that. Right now I'm wearing an Inuyasha shirt. This pocket is a Shippo. Can you really see him? I guess not. Trust me, it's Shippo. I'm looking very oily. I guess I'll talk about a few more things before I go. Like I mentioned earlier, my last stream was 4 hours long, and then I lost my voice the next day. And I just want to be in like good health to perform on my YouTube channel the next couple weeks. There is an Animal Crossing Flash Day happening at Yellow Rose Tattoo this week, which is in Pennsylvania. I just don't see how it's happening on Friday, and I'm really not sure how the tattoo shop is even open, because all the tattoo shops have been mandated to close in Philadelphia. But they posted the post yesterday, and the mandate was at 5, so I'm not sure how that'll work. I don't think I would get a Animal Crossing Flash tattoo. I would rather think about it. But I am interested in buying the Flash sheet, so we'll see what happens. I have an Animal Crossing tattoo and it's my fave, to be honest. Yeah. I think I would want... I don't know. I haven't seen the Flash sheet, but I feel like I would want to be more involved in the process of getting an Animal Crossing tattoo than picking it off of a sheet and not having that like customization ability, but I actually don't know. I don't have many tattoos, like fandom tattoos. I have a Stranger Things tattoo that I've been thinking about getting removed recently, so I don't know. Froggy chair tattoo, if it's not there. Sorry. We drove to Round One, and it's about 2 hours away. And we have a new Bronco, and it's really loud inside because it just has like no weatherproofing, no seals. And I was like yelling the whole time to be able to talk. So my throat was already like kind of sore. Are you talking about your 11 tattoo? Yeah, I just I like it, and I really was on that Stranger Things wave, and I really I think the Stranger Things lookbook on my YouTube channel is so iconic. But then sometimes I just don't get it. I know it's it's kind of touchy. The thought plopped into my head completely organically that I was like, would I ever get that removed? And it was almost like an intrusive thought because I've never had it before. I actually have the flash sheet hung in my kitchen. It's something I celebrate. But yeah, the other day, I thought about getting it removed because I was like, I don't know, Stranger Things. I don't know. I understand. Yeah, it just the thought just came out of nowhere to have my Stranger Things tattoo removed. I think it would be really complicated to have it removed because it's so many colors. It would make good content to remove it. I say this a lot, but I paid for a session at my tattoo removal place, so I already have tattoos planned to get removed. I just it's just in a place I can't get to, so I would either John would have to drive me or I would have to drive myself, and it's just far away. There's a tattoo removal place in Philadelphia proper, which I've talked to people who've had tattoo removal done there, but I would rather just drive the 2 hours and get my tattoo removal done at Go Tattoo Removal. But yes, content. I was actually gonna ask my grandmom to come with me to get my tattoo removed, because she's such a like great companion, especially for like little things. Like if I'm like, Grandmom, I need to get this dress, or like I need to do this, she's like, oh. I want to take my grandmom to my tattoo removal appointment. We'll see when we all get our lives back where that'll go. Stranger things have happened. I'm crying. I've thought about having my Rick and Morty tattoo removed just because I wasn't into season 4 and actually stopped watching, but it's a good memory. That's how I feel. I mean, I'm up to date with Stranger Things and everything like that, but yeah, it's like a good memory. I'm like sadly not super attached to it, and I like wish I could be, you know? All 3 of my tattoos have been reworked in some way, and that makes me feel better. Yeah, I don't know. You like I've been going through a lot of old photos, and you ever like have that phantom where you like really you reach your hand out to the photo as if to like extend it, like you just phantom, like it's like so unnerving. And sometimes I feel that way with my tattoos. I'm like, if I could just make this a little smaller or turn it a little this way, and it Jesus, stop. That's how I feel about my Stranger Things tattoo and some other tattoos I have on my body, especially ones for things I'm not into anymore. Season 1 or 2 are really good, but something about season 3 fell off, and seeing all the cheap products made it feel so disheartening. Yes, I feel like that definitely puts like a finger on it. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I made that video that like Stranger Things merch is ruining Stranger Things, and I kind of fell off that opinion because a lot of the comments kind of like changed my mind on how I felt. And now that no one is directly changing my mind, I'm like going back to that. I'm like, damn, there was a lot of cheap ass Stranger Things stuff out there. Tattoo removal is a bitch. Yeah. Once it's like done though, it's like done. Stranger Things becoming mainstream just makes me feel different. Yes, that's exactly how I felt, but I listened to a lot of counter arguments about how, one, it was always mainstream, or this is for the best and stuff like that, and I was really receptive to it. I was like, oh yeah, you're right, and it was always mainstream and blah blah blah. But then I was like, I don't know, because I don't think I would necessarily get a very mainstream tattoo, because at my core, having like very blatantly identifiable tattoos I struggle with, because it's like, oh, is that a rose? Okay. Oh, is that a snake? Yeah, good. But I feel like if you have a Mickey Mouse tattoo, or in some of our cases, a giant Playboy bunny tattoo, having that hyper identifiable symbol on you, for me, it's just not something I very much enjoy. It's like having words on you. People want to read it, and through trial and error realize that I don't like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Having an 11 tattoo, and everyone's like, is that 11? And having a giant Playboy bunny tattoo, it's like, oh, is that a big Playboy bunny? Like, you live and you learn, and you're kind of like, oh, I don't really like that. I would much rather have something, I don't know. But then I'm like, well, do I want a Sonic tattoo? Yes. So I live in this conflicted mindset, and I don't always know what's right. It's good for the kids acting out their careers, but the show itself is definitely not the same. Yes, I agree. And I also worry for those kids because I don't like when they're on other roles. And even when I saw Invisible Man with Elizabeth Moss, she's from Handmaid's Tale, the whole time I was like, this feels like the Handmaid's Tale though, right? But that's how I feel about my 11 tattoo. And I feel like it's kind of a controversial opinion, especially because I had that tattoo done by Derek Brimsey, who I love very much, but no. It really took me out of the third season when I'd watch Stranger Things and think, oh yeah, this outfit / accessory was created just to sell merch. Exactly. You saw, at least for me, Hot Topic released all of those clothes before I had time to even watch season 3. And I don't know if it released before it was available on Netflix or if I just didn't watch it the very first day it came out. But yeah, when I went into Hot Topic and they had 11's like at the mall, dump your ass outfit and all that stuff, I was like, such a drag, dude. And like, I don't know anyone who buys this stuff either outside of like cosplay. I've been looking at like, I searched Sailor Moon on Depop pretty regularly, and I see a lot of those older cosplay outfits. Hot Topic had this pastel satin sailor jacket, like a varsity Sailor Moon jacket, that is intended for cosplay. And you see them pop up on Depop all the time. And you're like, okay, yeah, you could wear that to a convention, but where do you wear Hopper's police uniform? I guess to like Comic-Con, but is Stranger Things represented in Comic-Con? Is it force-fed to Comic-Con? Like, I don't know. Most of the physical Hot Topic stores are closing, so maybe bad costumes will die with it. Hot Topic does treat me very well, so I do feel bad being critical of them, but at the same time, like they're I really do. I like their social media manager. She seems like a really cool person, but I don't know. I have like DM'd them and been critical of them though. Having something you really feel is cheapened or polluted by things really makes my soul rot. That's how I feel. I really do feel that way. And it's interesting to hear you guys talk about it because, yeah, when I made that exact video, because that was exactly how I was feeling, the response from people who genuinely really like Stranger Things, I felt like I was muddying the water for them, and I felt a sense of guilt because I was like, you know what? Let people like Stranger Things stuff. And I had a bunch of Stranger Things action figures that I actually gave to my friend Jackie, who works at a school, to give to kids. So I was like, okay, I never even considered that kids enjoy the show, so I need to like relax and all that stuff. But I still though am like, Stranger Things pool floats, like what is the necessity? You know? I also don't really like pop vinyl, so I don't know. It was a whole thing. I have a very meaningful tattoo in a place where it's not easily noticeable because I really don't want people asking me about it. There it is. That's what's up. I feel the same way. I have this memory where my mom, like I wear a cardigan all the time and I wear like overshirts in the summer and stuff. I get pretty cold. And I remember my mom being like, why'd you get all these tattoos and now you're embarrassed of them? And I was like, listen, first of all, do you think it's effed up that people are making videos like survival guide I don't know. You want to talk about what's trendy, so I don't know. I think it's a little risky because I think YouTube isn't really supporting that content right now, which is why I'm not even going to say the word. But some people do look to their favorite creators to see what's going on or experience a sense of normalcy. So I can see, like, depending on the audience, maybe that content is expected or asked for or requested. But if it's inappropriate, yeah, it's inappropriate. Stop. Yeah, I think people profiting in this time is pee pee poo poo. There was like I said, I'll do some social media with Hot Topic, and there was this campaign to do stuff with bathing suits, and they said that they didn't want to do that anymore, and they asked me for a suggestion for like where the content should go, and I said let's do like cozying up on the couch. It's like a little less on the nose. I mean, that was just an idea I pitched to them, and they can do whatever they want with it, but stuff like that I feel like is still like social media-y, like kind of influencer-y, to suggest like I'm on the couch for no reason. You're like, well, I know the reason. Stuff like that I feel like is a little less on the nose, but still relevant because people who are stuck at home can at least relate to it. So I do think it does, like I said, represent some sort of normalcy. Like you're like, oh, we are on the couch right now. Like I kind of see what you're doing, but also, yeah. But, you know, I'm a little sensitive to it too, because I'll get emails that are like, since you're Netflix and chillin', and I'm like, ugh, don't do it. 2020 has been absolutely pee-pee poo-poo so far. Heard that. It's horrible to see everyone partying at the beach in Miami. It's so frustrating. I saw that this morning too. I will say I really appreciate telling others how to handle the stress, the situation. In this situation right now, I like hearing how others with mental health issues are handling everything. I've seen a few YouTubers upload a lot more in the past days and talk about how they're taking advantage of people being at home for quarantine. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. Kristen Bell's IG stories are healing me from the soul. Like I said, I think some people turn to their favorite creators for that sense of normalcy. And I do it too, you know. People who I follow on Instagram, once they post about what they're doing, I read it and I'm like, okay, that's what they're doing. And if you do turn to your favorite creator to see what they're doing, or to see that they're not panicking, or to see that they're doing everything right. I had a live stream on Instagram like a week ago, and somebody asked me if I had voted. And I said my state isn't currently having elections until April, but a lot of states, it was Super Tuesday, so a lot of other states had voted. And they replied and they said like, oh, I don't know anything about that. And I thought, no, you have to do your due diligence. You have to know when the primaries are held in your state. But I also thought, now they will, because I talked about it. So, you know, I don't know. Like, I really just, I come to the table and hope that my audience knows that I have no ill will and that I'm not a bad person and that I don't have deceptive tendencies or a deceptive history, and I do sponsorships that I believe in, and shit like that, and I try to make my merch affordable and etc., etc. I hope that like my track record would lead people to believe that I'm not trying to take advantage of anybody, but I also, sometimes the creators that blatantly do also have a huge audience, so I don't know. Like, I don't know. I think it's a little pee-pee poo-poo, but I don't know. I mean, you'll see me making more videos this week, but I also feel not like I'm taking advantage of anybody. I feel like a sense of pride that I'm home and I like finally like my resource is available and like, I don't know, in demand because we're home and we're looking for that normalcy, and I'm not making a lot of content related to that. I'm going to be making content about what to watch on TV in case you're home for some reason, but not because, you know, it's my content strategy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Quack, you're the first thing for a bad person. Yeah, I like, you definitely have to remind people sometimes though, because I feel like there's a lot of mistrust in influencer community and YouTube community. So I never like, it's frustrating, but I tend to not take it too personally because there are influencers that have terrible track records and every time they bring something to the table, it's sketchy. So I don't mind being like, honestly don't mind when you do sponsorships. Thank you so much. I know it would be better form if I had a sponsor in every single video. I should do that. I do have a relationship with Skillshare and I just literally don't do anything about it. I just use the service. I'm like, well, thank you. Yeah, I'll tell my followers about it. But in 5 minutes, we were at the 2-hour mark, and just to... That was a firework. Are you kidding me? Every day. Manscaped is doing sponsorships, I swear to God. So, to save my voice so I can continue to have a better filming schedule, which is a goal I've been working towards this year anyway, but to keep myself in good health and to have a nice meal, because I have been up here for a full work day, it is time for me to go and save my voice and thank all of you guys for being here today. Thank you for everyone who joined my channel memberships, which is really great. I did get some feedback that a lot of people didn't know I offered this service, and it does fall on me. It is a difficult blend to tell people what you do and put it out there and then like also feel bad. So we'll figure that out one day. But yes, I do have a channel membership program and I have exclusive content on there. You can join the channel members, and thank you so much to everyone who decided to give it a chance today. I really appreciate your support for the channel and everyone who put stuff in the super chat. Like I said, the support for the channel is super awesome. Your support directly keeps the channel indie and it keeps it organic and unique, and it really does help me because we built the foundation of this channel on tattoo content, and until YouTube deems this stuff more appropriate, which honestly in my heart I think we'll get there. I am not pessimistic about YouTube in that sense. I believe in YouTube still. I don't know if you hear that from a lot of creators, but I do fully believe in YouTube and the opportunities they give me. They do support me as a creator, and you know, they have told me, you know, keep it going, change your content direction and stuff like that. So your support literally keeps this channel alive, and it keeps it creative, and it keeps me able to explore different things like tomorrow's video, which I'm super excited about, and talking about anime and having these live streams and stuff like that. You make this channel diverse with your support, and it's unbelievable. So I thank you so much. If you missed any part of the live stream, after the live stream, I will post it permanently on my channel if it does not get flagged for whatever we talked about, but I will continue to post it, unmonetized or not, because I think the comment section and what we talked about today is important because it does give us that normalcy, because like I said, This is a developing situation. It's all hands on deck. Follow the rules. That's all you can really do. Follow the rules. Follow the guidelines. And you're doing everything you can. And hopefully there's some support and some understanding in that. Do what you can. Do what you're supposed to do. Look out for people. My neighbor knows that I'm available to her. And my parents know. And my friends know. Like on my like Instagram for close friends, like people in my area, I posted like, we've got food if you need food. So do what you can. That's all you can do. Do what you can. And, wash your hands, but you're doing that because you're doing everything you can. Thank you guys so much. Hang out with me over on Instagram at Quiet Cool Kid. I post stories every day if you need to be filled in on that regard. And I've been posting a lot of throwback pictures because I have a lot of them for a video I'm working on. So I love you guys so much. And please take care. And, this is a developing situation. But to tell you we're all kind of on the same page and all figuring this out as it goes is the most honest thing I could say. So good night.